Let's talk 101. Today is the Miami Dolphins at the Cincinnati Bengals. Uh, I think it's gonna be a real good game. I think what I thought was gonna happen was I thought everyone was gonna be riding on the Dolphins, and they just beat the Super Bowl favorites, and they just beat the team that has the MVP leader. Um, I figured everyone would be riding on the Dolphins, but I've been watching, and it seems like everyone's on the Bengals for some reason. They're 1-2. Their lone wins against the Jets. I mean, I think this is going to be a higher scoring game with the Dolphins edging them out at the end. Um, but I think the Dolphins, if it's not a close game, it's going to be the Dolphin on the Dolphins end. I don't foresee the Bengals beating them by more than a few points if they were to. Their offensive line has been so beat up and not beat up, but just really poor this year. They can't block for the run. Joe Mixon has a really low yards per carry. Joe Burrow's fighting for his life every down, and I don't know. I'm kind of confused as to why everyone's so big on the Bengals all of a sudden. But I'm gonna be picking the Miami Dolphins in this one, 31-28. Um, I think all the big playmakers in this game, I think, have a decent day. I think at bare minimum, out of um, Jamar Chase, uh, Jalen Waddle, and Tyreek Hill, out of those three, I see a minimum of two touchdowns out of those three. If you're a gambling man, I recommend maybe putting a parlay or two together for tonight. Got a lot of good odds. The Miami's plus for their money line is plus 180 something. Might have changed since I've looked last, but uh, got those odds. And then I just think with the poor defenses with of both of, I mean Miami's is not poor, but they bend a little. They can get some yards on them. Josh Allen got a lot of yards last week, so I can see Joe Burrow passing for a lot of yards, but they don't get a lot of touchdowns. But Jamar Chase has been getting touchdowns in even the games that they're kind of struggling in. So um, I honestly don't see. I'm trying to think of a way that the Cincinnati Bengals would be able to stop the Dolphins, and I just can't. Maybe Trey Hendrickson has like a decent day and makes causes a turnover or something, but like their secondary is very weak. Uh, their defense is not that good. So to be honest, I think I'm being kind of kind to the Bengals picking 31-28. Um, but yeah, like I said, if you're a gambling man, Tyreek Hill I like in this game. I like Jamar Chase in this game. I like Jalen Waddle in this game. Uh, Jalen Waddle. If you had to pick one of the two Dolphins receivers for a touchdown, I'd probably lean towards Waddle just because uh, Jalen Waddle's been running the whole route tree this year. They've hit him short, they've hit him long, medium, outside, inside, short touchdown, long touchdown. Um, so if you had to pick one of the Dolphins receivers for a touchdown, I'd go with Waddle. I think it's very possible Hill could do that too because, I mean, their best corner is Eli Apple. I believe he'll be matched up against Tyreek Hill. So at past that, their corners aren't very good. Uh, Jamar Chase going up against Xavier Howard. I think he can muscle in a touchdown there. I don't know about yardage because Jamar Chase's yards haven't been up there. So I could see him getting like 40 or 50 yards in a touchdown this or something like that. Uh, I wouldn't touch Joe Mixon today until he can show you that he can get some holes open for him and have some decent blocking. I'm staying away. I love Joe Mixon. I've had him on a lot of my fantasy teams over the years, and I wanted him this year. I was I had him uh, going in my first round of my mock draft. So, but his offensive line cannot block. So I would stay away from Mixon. I would stay away from the Dolphins backfield as well. One of them may go off, but they've been heavy on one running back, a different running back each game. Is either Chase Edmonds or Raheem Mostert. I like Mostert. I like him as a starter, but they've been giving the ball a lot to Chase Edmonds, so I wouldn't go there. T Higgins, I could see doing getting a touchdown possibly. I could see him getting more yards than maybe a touchdown. I could see him getting like 60 yards, and like let's say the over under is like a half a touchdown. I'd maybe go over. And also I like Hayden Hurst this game. Their tight end. I think that the corners will s- stop the wide receivers enough to make Joe Burrow frustrated. And he's going to be having to make quick dump offs. I think he down the middle. I think he'll hit the tight end a few times. I got him going over 25 yards. His over 25 yards is like minus 130. Those are pretty good odds for that low of amount of yards. Excuse me. So yeah, overall, I think it's a really good game to maybe put into your FanDuel account, or um, if you're not a gambler, man, it's going to be an entertaining game. Miami's a fun, offensive, speedy team, and Cincinnati's got Joe Burrow, Joe Cool, the next Tom Brady, and Jamar Chase. In my opinion, the second most fun receiver to watch. Is uh when Justin Jefferson's hot, he's the most fun receiver for me to watch. Jamar Chase is second. That's just my opinion though. But again, I got Miami 31, Cincinnati 28.